The week starts with a big clean in Guiseley. The block paved driveway is bursting with weeds, the patio is filthy, and the house render needs a full biocide treatment. It's a decent-sized job, which would be fine if the pressure washer behaved itself. Instead, it keeps stalling, again and again. Somehow Paul manages to nurse it through the clean and get the treatment onto the walls. Meanwhile, a timely development means the next day's job is postponed, so Paul heads to the repair shop to see what's gone wrong. And it takes Aaron's experience to track down the cause of the fault.
My name's Paul Driver and I'm the owner of JetReady. We're known for exterior cleaning and restoration services across West and North Yorkshire. On this channel I like to film real jobs and show real results, and sometimes I also talk about the real ups and downs of running an exterior cleaning business here in the UK. Quite an interesting job to do today. This block paved driveway has certainly seen better days, covered in weeds and infested with lichen. And these white rendered walls are starting to become discoloured with algae and lichen. And the patio area is absolutely filthy, totally covered with dirt and grime. The motor on the pressure washer stopped working, it stalled. I've been having this problem for a few days now. You're just working away quite happily and then it just cuts out and stops. I'm just going to leave that sludge to drain off a little bit. In the meantime, I can be making a start on the paving. Right, I'll just start the pressure washer up again, see how long it lasts this time. Yeah, the pressure washer there. That's not normal. It sounds like it's running out of fuel, but it isn't. And now it's okay. Don't understand. Hear it again. Well, the patio's looking a lot better just for the sake of a bit of a wash down. Still quite a few stubborn marks here caused by lichen. Once I've got the driveway down, I'll get some chemicals on this and that'll dissolve those away. This pile of sludge has drained off a lot now. It'll be a lot easier to shovel up. Right, just got a bit of paving around the front to do, then I'll get some chemicals down, leave that to rest for a while, have a bit of lunch. Nearly had you. Right, that's got all the paving cleaned down. Quite badly stained on this side actually. Big blobs of black lichen and mould, and lots more over here. Some of that's going to be quite tricky to move.
Paul's pressure washer is fitted with a chemical system. It allows him to apply different treatments to the surfaces he works on. In this case, it's a preparation that will sanitise the blocks and eat away those pesky black spots.
Time for a bit of lunch. Like a prawn cocktail salad with a bit of pasta. Excellent. Good. Right, I'm just going to rinse the driveway, get rid of all of that hypo. It's actually quite bright and breezy, and with a bit of luck I may even be able to get this sanded today as well. That'd be a bonus if I can. Pressure washer stalled again. Stalled again.
I think this could be related to the revs. If the engine's revving too high, it seems to conk out easily. Doesn't happen if I've got it turned down.
Onto the render. There's two ways of dealing with this. I can do a slow clean or a fast clean. A fast clean involves using, once again, a solution of sodium hypochlorite, very diluted, applying that with a brush over the whole area. The disadvantage with sodium hypochlorite is that it's very corrosive to metals, and on all the windows on this house we've got diamond leading.
If it splashes on the lead, it stains it almost immediately. You can reverse that with a different chemical, but it's a bit of a pain. Another disadvantage is that the hypo can get down the back of the leading and start melting the adhesive that sticks the lead onto the glass. And that's a much bigger problem, and I don't want to go there.
Now, I've already agreed with the customer, because of the leaded windows, that I'm going to go with the slow clean method. This involves applying a licensed biocide to the render. I'm going to apply that with a water-fed pole and a brush so that we don't get any drift. That will kill all of the organic matter that's causing the discoloration, the algae, the lichens and that sort of thing. What then happens is that these organisms start to biodegrade, and as a result of natural weathering over the next few weeks, all of the staining will disappear.
To apply the treatment, Paul uses his soft washing trolley. It carries up to 40 litres of solution and has a battery-powered pump that feeds his telescopic pole and brush system. PPE is essential. The biocide is highly toxic and requires proper training to handle safely. It's not a DIY job.
The next challenge I've got is to be able to get up above this extension so that I can ensure the upper levels being treated properly.
When I got up here, I noticed these coping stones were really dirty as well, and of course from the upstairs windows they're looking straight down at them. Given those treatments as well, and within a few weeks they'll look like brand new slabs. Oh, glad that's over. These side passages are always the most difficult areas to do. You're right underneath the brush, and quite often there's chemicals raining down on you, hence all the necessity for the PPE. Get a sore neck just looking up all the time. Well, these are the kind of customers you want. Jam tarts, if I must. On the home straight now, just the front of the building to do. Oh. Right, that's that finished. Get everything packed up and then sand that driveway. Hello, pussycat. Hello. So there we go, big job all over, quite a late finish, about 6 o'clock in the evening now. But I'm glad that we were able to get the block paving resanded today. That's a big time saver, saves me a return journey. The concrete paving slabs are looking bright as a button. These were absolutely filthy earlier on, as were the ones around the front of the building. As far as the render goes, we're not expecting it to be clean on the day. It's more of a treatment to kill off those algae and lichens. The whole area will self-cleanse over the coming weeks as a result of natural weathering. Pretty booked up this week actually, although this morning I've had a job postponed because some builders haven't finished work or something, so that gives me the opportunity to get up to Q Services and get my pressure washer fixed. So Aaron's just working on a repair on this trailer build here.
How's it going? You alright? So say if it's stalling,
Yeah.
whilst you're pulling your trigger, if you were to let go of the trigger, what would it do? Would it stall? Would it stop stalling?
No, I don't think so. I'll try and reproduce it for you, and then
Yeah.
you can see it for yourself.
Going back to the same thing as fuel.
Right, okay.
Loads of people commented at home about being quiet on washing.
So I haven't advertised at all this year.
Yeah.
And it's just getting to the point now where I've got a bit of daylight in my calendar sort of thing. So I've started up the advertising again.
Yeah.
You're right, there are a few people in the
in
the chats and what have you been saying that there's not, you know, the quiet, not much work coming in. But, so many of them just rely far too much on Facebook groups, local groups and what have you. And you know, if you've got everybody swimming in that same pond,
exactly,
then it's bound to get saturated and prices are bound to go down. I like my Google pay-per-click. You can just centre it on a particular radius. So I've got mine centred on Otley, within 8 miles of Otley.
Yeah.
Gets me into North Leeds, Harrogate, Wetherby, Ilkley, sort of, you know, Yorkshire's Golden Triangle area.
Yeah. Colour that.
So what are we looking at here?
So right down to the bottom of there.
It's just blocked up.
Well, it's going to have partly something to do with it. So if you just look at this.
No, shitting carburetor. That would explain everything.
So running on low revs, you aren't using all the fuel up and flowing through carbies. There you go. You can see the difference in that now.
Absolutely. Are they quite cheap to replace carburetors?
For a non-genuine one, yeah. But you don't want to be non-genuine, does that make sense, and stuff like this.
Right. How much is an original Honda one?
Roughly, you're up into 100 and 150, something like that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's worth it. It's worth it all day long, yeah. Obviously, back in the day when obviously you try different things and whatnot, obviously we have tried non-genuine carbs, and the amount of times we've just gone back and said, right, look, we'll never do non-genuine stuff ever again. It is not worth it.
So this is the problem, what I was saying about the fiberglass. I've got this external exhaust which exhausts out through the bottom of the van, allows me to shut the doors when I'm working if necessary, and it's also it makes the whole machine a lot quieter, but there's a lot of vibration, and this lagging at the top had kind of come undone, and it was just disintegrating, lots of little fibres of fiberglass just sort of floating around, getting sucked into the air intake, obviously just landing in my funnel, so put fuel in and that's just getting into the fuel tank. So I think that's probably what the problem is. Well, you can say that's fixed, can't we?
Yeah.
Sorted. Very
Perfect.
good. Very good.
Paul?
Alright, so you're going to fit some new hose for me?
Yes, I believe so. I've got.
So I'm replacing the hose off my reel. I've been using this cheaper stuff and it's just wearing through in no time. Over the last few weeks I've been trialling some blue hose, which is a good 2mm thicker overall in diameter, and it's just really hard wearing. This hasn't lasted me any time really. So what's the story with this blue hose? Is it like food grade or something, or
No,
it's just thicker, better quality?
Thicker, so it's a quality of it. So you can imagine you'll have to drag it along the floor every single day. Yeah. If you've got a thinner edge of rubber on it, all that's going to be happening long term is going to wear out as not once.
And as soon as that metal braid appears, it starts rusting.
Yeah.
And if you're dragging it through hypo, then
chemicals, it just ruins it.
I mean, it's a bit heavier. It's not as easy to sort of flick around and what have you, but you can live with that. I'd rather it last longer.
Exactly. I say that.
Well, I like it because it's blue. It's good for me branding. I'll just see what fittings I've got. I might have one or two that I've cut off old hoses. Save me a bit of money, won't it? So I've got some stainless inserts here. Are they any good for use?
Look, yeah, should be.
These have stainless steel inserts in all of the hoses. That's so that we can put chemical through the high pressure line via the downstreamer. Trouble is, it's an expensive part, so when we change hoses, we always try and salvage them if possible. It's not always possible to reuse them, but it saves a lot of money if we can. Good, and that can be used another day.
Yeah.
That'll be used because it's crushed in the middle, but these can.
Yeah.
Very good, thank you.
Been reused that many times, I think, that one.
Brilliant. Right, so we got this new soft wash trigger. which need connecting to some hose like that. Proper job though. Just cheap Chinese imports with that you get with the backpack sprayers off eBay. Yeah, okay, but they break easily. Right, well thanks very much. Till next time.
Thank you very much as always. Thank you as always. Perfect.
Cheers, Fred.
Right, Paul.
Thanks very much. Leave you to it. Well, good service again from Aaron and Fred and Wendy at Q Services. I originally discovered them on YouTube, and you know, if I ever have a problem, I can just drive up and get it sorted straight away. You know, get back on the road, back in business. Buy loads of them.